I saw something completely absurd get thrown around during a WNBA game, but believe it or not, that's still not the wildest thing I've ever seen happen in a basketball game.
There's a dog on the court right now.
Because one player's entire career was nearly derailed all because of a shoe. Just 33 seconds into the game, Zion planted his left foot, and his Nike sneaker completely blew apart.
Slipping and injured is Zion Williamson.
Yeah, the shoe just completely gave out on him. The entire side ripped open, his foot burst through the fabric, and Zion collapsed to the floor clutching his knee. The fallout was immediate. He missed the next 5 games. But for Nike, it was a full-blown PR nightmare. Their stock dropped by $1 billion the very next day, and the term exploding shoe was forever etched into basketball history. But trust me, things are only going to get crazier from here. We're talking full-court brawls, cursed jerseys, and whatever this is. But before all that, we've got to talk about how Shaquille O'Neal literally forced the NBA to rewrite its rulebook. It's the 1992 to 1993 NBA season. Orlando Magic rookie Shaquille O'Neal is already turning heads not just with his size and skill, but with the sheer destruction he brings to the court. On one play, the Nets had just knocked down a smooth little jumper, the kind of routine bucket no one remembers, but what happened next? No one would ever forget. Orlando quickly pushes the ball up the floor. Shaq gets it, takes off, and with 300 pounds of raw power, he rises up and unleashes chaos.
I've never seen that.
And even though the whole thing basically came crashing down on him, Shaq just walked away like it was nothing, completely unfazed. He didn't just put 2 points on the board, he forced the NBA to rewrite the rules. After that dunk, the league had no choice but to upgrade to reinforced rims and sturdier backboards. But when it comes to Shaq, no backboard is ever truly safe. The guy's a beast. But speaking of monsters, there's an even weirder one haunting the WNBA, and no, it's not low viewership. It's sex toys. Yeah, you heard that right. Over the past few weeks, WNBA games have been repeatedly interrupted by fans throwing sex toys onto the court, and somehow, this has turned into a bizarre trend. The first viral incident happened on July 29, 2025, during a game between the Atlanta Dream and the Golden State Valkyries. The score was tied late in the fourth when, out of nowhere, a bright green object flew from the stands and bounced across the court like it was part of the play. The game kept going, but once the action stopped and players realized the mystery object was actually a neon green sex toy, their reactions were absolutely priceless.
Jordan Canada didn't know something flew on the court. She's being told right now.
But little did anyone know, that first incident was just the beginning. In Los Angeles, during a matchup between the Sparks and the Fever, things escalated. Guard Sophie Cunningham actually got hit by one. The wildest part? Sophie had literally warned fans about it just days earlier. Then, in the ultimate twist of irony, the basketball gods served her one of the coldest that aged poorly moments imaginable. 2 different arenas. 2 separate games. Same bizarre problem. Some fans say it's dangerous. Others think it's hilarious. But above all, it's just plain absurd, and if there's one guy who knows a thing or two about being absurd, it's Jimmy Butler. Because when Media Day rolls around, the one day that's supposed to be buttoned up and predictable, Jimmy makes sure it's anything but. See, Media Day is the NBA's annual routine. Players suit up, pose for official photos, do a round of interviews. It's corporate, clean-cut, and by the book. But Jimmy Butler doesn't do by the book. In 2022, he showed up with full-length dreadlock extensions. Not braids. Not twists. Dreads that touched the floor. At first, reporters tried to play it cool, asking the usual questions while pretending everything was normal. But eventually, someone addressed the elephant in the room, and that's when things got interesting.
I don't have any extensions, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying out a lot of new looks. Y'all like my babyface assassin look? It's kind of cute, isn't it?
But let's be real, this wasn't the only time Jimmy Butler stole the spotlight. Because the very next year, he took things to a whole new level. He walked in rocking jet black emo bangs that draped over half his face, complete with black nail polish, a lip ring, and eyebrow piercings, looking like he just joined Fall Out Boy as their mysterious 5th member.
Jimmy, last year you came out with the braids, man. What's this?
I had dreads last year.
Yeah, the dreads.
What's this?
Yeah.
This is my emotional stuff.
And one was my emotion.
And the best part? These aren't just one-day gags. These are the official headshots. So all season long on ESPN Graphics, TNT intros, you've got Bam Adebayo looking locked in, Tyler Herro flashing a smile, and Jimmy Butler looking like he just finished scribbling sad poetry in a high school notebook. Honestly, Jimmy might be one of the funniest players the league's ever seen, but now, imagine rocking the unluckiest number in NBA history. Because whether it's a wild coincidence or a full-on curse, something definitely seems to follow this jersey. Let's start with Damian Lillard's 2025 playoff run, Bucks vs Pacers, first round. Lillard, known as one of the most clutch scorers in the game, was doing everything he could to drag Milwaukee through a tough series. But in Game 4, disaster struck.
That one was off balance. Lillard volleyballs it over, and Lillard goes down with an injury. He's grabbing his high ankle of the left leg.
His Achilles gave out just like that. Dame was done. He had surgery a few days later and is now expected to miss the entire 2025-26 season. And the jersey number he was wearing when it all happened? 0. Fast forward a couple weeks to May. Jason Tatum, the Celtics superstar, is carrying Boston through the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks. Game 4. He makes a move, plants awkwardly, then goes down hard. Crumples to the floor.
Jaylen Brown back in, lost the ball. Anunoby all by himself throws it down. And Tatum is hurt. Tatum is down. He wants a timeout. Tatum in so much pain. And the Celtics call timeout, grabbing that right ankle.
Same injury. Same number. Another playoff run shattered by an Achilles tear, and then came Tyrese Haliburton. June 2025. Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Pacers vs Thunder. The biggest stage, the biggest moment. But midway through the game, it happens.
Good contested door. Haliburton falls down. He looks hurt. Here comes SGA the other way. Inside, and Williams throws it down. Haliburton's hurt right away when he fell.
Mid-drive, the number 0 dropped and grabbed his leg. Tyrese Haliburton hit the floor, clutching his Achilles, tears in his eyes. Just like that, his season was over. And with it, the Pacers' championship dreams point 3 different stars. 2 months. 1 jersey number. Call it a coincidence, call it a curse, but if you're wearing 0 in the playoffs, watch your step. And speaking of people you should never underestimate, don't mess with the Ball family either. Back in 2018, when the Ball brothers took their talents to Lithuania, everyone expected chaos, but no one expected this. During a Vytautas game, LaMelo Ball had the ball stolen. On the way back down the court, a Lithuanian player mocked him with a condescending head pat like he was a little kid. Big mistake. LaMelo whipped around and slapped the absolute life out of him. No hesitation. Just palm, full force, right to the face. The other player started swinging back. And suddenly, it exploded. Team USA versus Team Lithuania in a full-on brawl. Players went flying into ad boards, bodies hit the floor. It was pure mayhem out of nowhere. And Lava Ball? He was losing it on the sideline, yelling like a man possessed.
Hey, Mel, get your big ass down there and rebound! Go down there and rebound! Go down there and rebound!
And plenty more after, too.
Before the coaches get in here, I'm gonna speak my goddamn mind right quick. You're selfish, You get tapped in the head. I told your ass, we cannot respond like that. You of all people.
Hey, like father, like son, right? With the Ball family, it's non-stop headlines. But they're not the only ones bringing the chaos. Picture this: Australia's NBL, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix versus Melbourne United. It's throwdown time. Mitch Creek grabs the ball, pushes up the court, sees Matthew Delavida in his way and takes flight. He throws down a monster dunk so hard, Delavida hits the floor like he got blindsided by an NFL linebacker. Then, out of nowhere, Creek gets shoved to the ground. The arena explodes, refs try to hold Creek back, but he's not having it. He breaks free and charges right back into the chaos. Total mayhem. Fists flying, players yelling it's completely out of control. When the dust settles, Pete gets ejected, Creek gets hit with a technical for trash talk, and Phoenix's Isaiah Larafa picks up an unsportsmanlike for his part in the brawl. But if we're talking absurd, nothing tops the weirdest ejection in NBA history. It's 2007, Spurs vs Mavericks. Tim Duncan, the calmest, most low-key superstar in the league. No trash talk, no drama, just pure fundamentals. But somehow, he got tossed. For laughing, Duncan was sitting on the bench after a questionable call, quietly chuckling to himself, not yelling, not standing, just laughing. And then, out of nowhere, ref Joey Crawford absolutely snapped.
And this is when Duncan's out of the game. He's thrown Duncan out of the game. That's the second technical, which is an automatic ejection.
Tim Duncan got ejected from the bench for having a sense of humor. What? No surprise the league suspended Joey Crawford soon after for going way over the line. As for Duncan, he basically decided to never show emotion again and just kept dominating, with the most bizarre ejection in NBA history forever on his resume. Now, some basketball moments make you laugh. Some make you cry. But when it comes to Dennis Rodman, it's mostly just confusion. This is the same guy who dyed his hair a different neon color every other game, skipped practices to wrestle with the WCW, headbutted a ref, and kicked a cameraman. Rodman lived for shock value. Every day, a new headline. But in 1996, he outdid himself, and it didn't happen on the court or in the ring. To promote his autobiography, Rodman showed up in New York City, wearing a full wedding dress. Veil, makeup, heels, the works. And just to top it off, he told the press he was marrying himself. People didn't know whether to laugh, stare, or just accept that Dennis Rodman existed on a different planet. On the court, he was a Hall of Fame rebounder. Off it? The NBA's ultimate wildcard. Nothing summed that up better than strutting down Fifth Avenue in a wedding gown. I've never seen anything like that. Well, until this, because in January 2016, Andre Drummond set a record that's not just wild, it's painful. Now, Drummond's never been known for his free throw touch. In the paint, beast. On the boards, elite. But at the line, that was his kryptonite. So when the Pistons faced the Rockets on January 20th, Houston had one plan: foul him. Every single time. The Hake Drummond strategy went into overdrive. It was brutal. By halftime, he had been sent to the line over and over, clanking shot after shot. The crowd groaned. Drummond looked fed up. And by the end, 36 free throw attempts, 23 of them missed. An NBA record for futility. For perspective, Shaq, the king of missed free throws, never missed that many in one night. Only Drummond holds that honor, and the craziest part? Detroit still won, by 9. But nobody remembers the win. Everyone remembers the 23 bricks. Some records are untouchable. This one? Nobody even wants to touch it. Now, there's one guy who never got caught slipping in the style department, and that's Allen Iverson. He defined cool in the 2000s. Tattoos, chains, baggy shorts, swagger for days, and of course, those iconic cornrows. But even the king of cool needs a quick touch-up sometimes. And that's exactly what fans saw mid-game when cameras caught Iverson's mom sitting courtside, braiding his hair. Only AI could pull that off and still look like the toughest guy on the floor.